Welcome back, guys. Everything wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh! Today we are doing the highly anticipated, super iconic episode, Master of Magicians. Let's get into it.
This card is worthless! Now give me the two rarest cards in your dueling deck!
Bro, if his best card is trash, why would you think his second rarest card would be worth anything?
Oh, I've never seen a card that powerful.
For those keeping track at home, Kaiba has 3 on-screen wins. One against Joey, another against his computer, and now some random no-name. Why do we remember him being so hard?
No one messes with my little brother, especially with an Egyptian god card in my deck.
The first part of this line goes hard, but then you end that second part.
Not even Yugi will be able to defeat me.
Bro, haven't you learned anything? You can't rely on a specific win condition. This is one of Kaiba's biggest flaws. He builds his decks around these boss monsters and is so fixated on that being his only way to win.
So Obelisk the Tormentor has been played?
Yes.
Marik's Goon Squad gets some updates faster than Kaiba's billion-dollar empire.
And we've identified the card's owner, Seto Kaiba.
Of course.
Bro, I feel like you were gonna say, of course, to literally any name. I feel like this is just standard protocol to any Millennium Item user that isn't Yugi. Just act like nothing surprises you.
Of course.
Also, we got the Millennium Item here, glimmering, like it had something to do with it, but it don't.
She gave Kaiba that card to stop me.
There's a few other names that this could have also been true for. She could have given it to Yami, Pegasus, Shoddy, the Chaz, or kept it for herself.
She's been trying to stand in my way.
Trying? It sounds like she did successfully stop you from taking Obelisk.
Unlock the safe.
Why is there a safe inside of a tomb? Is this really the most effective method for protecting the Egyptian god monsters? 2, is that Millennium Rod actually doing anything here? Are you mind controlling him? Do you need to be? Can you not just open the safe yourself? Or is it that only he knows the code? Why would you not just force him to tell you the code and do it yourself? All this just seems so extra. Hold up, a 3-button code? That's what's protecting the world from the most powerful power the world has ever known? Even Planet Deridia had better security than this.
There it is, the winged dragon of Ra.
Damn, slabbed and everything. It is for PSA, they come back in 9.
My Millennium Necklace warned me you would betray me, and indeed you have.
So I'm guessing we've all seen the show already. We already know what's happened. Did your necklace really need to warn you that this dude was bad news? Was killing your dad not a strong enough cue? Did this really need to get confirmed?
My destiny lies in the cards, the 3 Egyptian god cards.
I feel like Marik could be doing a lot better job relaying this to his team. Because right now, they think it's just to collect the Dark Magician.
You're going to have to find the last card.
Wait, did he not have to find the other 2?
You'd use your Millennium Rod on your own flesh and blood, Marik?
Bro, were you not there for this? How is it that you know the events from 5,000 years ago better than the events that happened just a few years ago?
I'll have to.
So, what happened? Did he just use the item on his sister? Did they just calmly go their separate ways? Was this flash purely for transitional purposes?
Ishizu knew if she gave Obelisk the Tormentor to Kaiba, he'd throw a tournament out of greed.
I love that Kaiba's reputation in this world is so that someone who is literally a complete stranger can accurately know what would happen if he was presented with a powerful Duel Monsters card.
Power of the Pharaoh will be mine. First, I'll need to weaken the Pharaoh.
Wait, what? So your plan up till now was to weaken the Pharaoh? I'll be honest, I think we all thought you were trying to defeat the Pharaoh or kill him or something. If you're just trying to weaken him, I'm gonna say your best shot was when Yugi passed off the puzzle. If you had just kept that in your back pocket, or even smashed it and just kept the single piece, that might have been the better move here.
Shall I pay Kaiba a little visit?
Leave Kaiba to his game.
Wait, are you sure? You just said.
Once I have them all, the power of the Pharaoh will be mine.
I'm actually with Odeon. I think the best move here is to beat Kaiba, get the 3rd god card, then put all 3 in your deck, pray you don't brick, and defeat the Pharaoh in one go.
Dispatch Arcana to take down Yugimoto.
Hold on, so you're not gonna do the smarter move and get in the 3rd god card, which is exactly what you were setting out to do in the flashback earlier, and you're not, and now you're gonna enlist Arcana, who I think has a 0-0 record, by the way, into defeating Yami. I'm sure the sub gives more background to Arcana, but in the dub, it sounds like he's coming straight from the hospital. I'm not entirely sure this is the best move.
I'm gonna go down and see how Yugi and Joey are doing. Bye.
Yo, Tristan is a solid dude. The gang was goofing on him at the start of the arc, acting like he's just trying to flirt or get with Serenity. But I'm gonna submit this scene as evidence that he's just solid. He ain't flirting. He's checking in on both parties. He's doing his part. You literally cannot say one bad thing about Tristan.
That was an awesome duel, Joey.
I'm impressed by how much your dueling skills have improved.
Guys, he literally made 2 plays. One play was playing both dice cards, and the other was Roulette Spider.
I just hope that Joey can survive the tournament without his red eyes.
He just scooped a 1 sacrifice, 2400 attack monster with a killer effect. Trust me, bro, he's good.
Who are you?
Bro, come on. Could it be anyone else? This might as well be Team Rocket in disguise.
Enter here, Yugi.
Can we just duel? I know we had the Shadow Realm saw blades downstairs, but can we just do this with a puzzle on the line? Loser goes to the Shadow Realm. Has Yugi ever said no?
Duelist profile for Yugi Moto. Rarest card, Dark Magician.
This is so over the top. If Marik and Arcana worried less about theatrics and more about side decking against Yugi, they could have actually won a round.
I've been waiting for you. You are not worthy of having me in your debt.
What the actual is happening? Also, isn't the hologram technology in this world super advanced? Why does this look like Star Wars?
All right, enough of these tricks.
Yami is literally Itachi's worst nightmare. This dude is straight immune to genjutsu.
I am the illusionist known as Arcana.
Damn, you got 2 copies of Dark Magician? So in the last episode, Seeker was trying to pick up a 3rd?
And soon your favorite card will be dueling for me.
Why the does every villain think they're gonna steamroll Yami? Like they all act like they're gonna dog walk him. He's only lost once, and it wasn't a public match. From their perspective, he has a perfect record.
And soon your favorite card will be dueling for me.
Well, it looks like his favorite card is already dueling for you.
I know it must be hard to think of your favorite card in another duelist's deck.
I think this only rings true for Kaiba.
But this room's a little cramped, don't you think? Follow me.
This is the 3rd location we've led Yugi to. Can we start the duel?
Just who is it that you're working for, Arcana?
Bro, do you really not know? It could only be one person.
It's almost time to raise the curtain and start the show.
Okay, why does every line from this guy have to be a play on words? Also, while we're here, does Dark Magician really resemble a stage magician? Arcana is supposed to be this circus stage magician, and Dark Magician is a wizard. This is like comparing David Blaine to Dumbledore.
Not even Kaiba knows we're here.
Does this mean anything to anybody? Both in-universe and for the viewers? This means nothing. We don't care. Stop.
Besides, you and I are a lot alike. We both play to win.
I feel like this is true for every character in the show.
No!
Bro, does this really make a difference? You're the motherfucking king of games. No one can beat you. You are the goat of goats. You know this. You have decimated every opponent, and when the stakes are the highest, your victory is always that much more brutal.
It's a dark energy disc, Yugi. One touch and your mind's banished to the Shadow Realm.
Can I just say, I would rather have my legs sawed off than my mind sent into purgatory.
I'm a man who's undefeated.
I'm not sure what your record is in the sub, but based on the dub context, you came straight from the circus. So we're looking at a 0-0 record. So yes, you're technically undefeated, but...
My Dark Magician.
First off, shout out to this artwork. Both versions are iconic as fuck, so shout out to the design team. Great work. Second, is it really that beneficial to pull this card turn 1? Isn't this a dead draw? If you're gonna go through the effort of stacking your hand, at least get a card that will let you dump Dark Magician into the graveyard so you can special summon him. Or like try to sneak a cost down into your hand or soul exchange. Drawing Dark Magician and no support is completely fucking pointless.
Learning how to draw any card anytime comes in very handy.
Has Marik given Arcana any intel on Yami? Bro, you do know this is Yugi's specialty. I feel like if Marik really wanted to fuck Yugi, instead of a mirror match, you should be sending in a duelist with some anti-Yugi strategy. Luckily, we get this later with the Masked Beast duel, but damn.
And since I trimmed my Dark Magician...
Yo, is that glow implying you have 3 Dark Magicians? So you're looking to scoop a 4th?
It showed up right on top when Yugi cut my deck.
So obviously this is bullshit. Number 1, you can't possibly know where he will cut. And 2, instead of trimming Dark Magician, why not just place him below where you're predicting he'll cut? Either way, it's total horseshit.
Once I have another monster on the field, I'll sacrifice them both to summon my all-powerful Dark Magician.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's recap. Seeker strategy, play heavy defense, blitz Exodia, 2-3 turns. Loomis and Umbra strategy, shut down all tribute summoning, lean into Kaiba's ego, and push Kaiba to be uncooperative and sabotage Yugi. Strings / Marik strategy, 5-card combo lockdown, overwhelm the Pharaoh with an Egyptian god card. Arcana strategy, normal summon Dark Magician.
Card destruction!
Not that! My plan is ruined!
Bro, I'm starting to feel like you're in way over your head.
Say farewell to the cards in your hand, Arcana.
I'm gonna ping this now. Yugi says Arcana's name a ridiculous amount of times.
When you believe in the heart of the cards, Arcana, you don't need to cheat.
True, but bro, admit it, you're kinda low-key cheating. We will set aside the puzzle for a second. Your opening hand had card destruction and brain control. And then your 1 Dark Magician copy was ready to go on your second set of 5 cards. Come on, man, this is next level cheating.
Now you'll see what happens when you have faith in your cards, Arcana!
I'm not sure that his lack of faith is what put him in this position, but rather his tunnel vision on a single strategy to win the duel.
That That was just the opening act, Yugi!
Bro, you're saying this is just an opening act, like you did something and you're about to do more? I'm gonna say you didn't even have an act. You summoned a monster in face-up defense position, and that's actually all you did. If that's your opening act, you're fucked. Y'all cannot end this on to be continued. Literally, Arcana hasn't done jack shit. There is no tension. He is completely cooked.
Listen, Yugi, I promised you a spectacle, and I never disappoint.
What do you mean you never disappoint? First off, you're losing, and by a large margin. Second, this is possibly your first match ever. Even if we look at your circus career, it sounds like your most recent performance went pretty rough. So by what estimation have you never disappointed?
Not only will I win, I'll take your precious dark magician from you and send you to mental oblivion!
Bro, I appreciate the confidence, but are you actually unaware of your opponent? Why do you and all of your buds think Yugi is an easy W?
I gave you a chance to save yourself, but you've left me with no choice. Prepare to lose it all, Arcana!
So, little Yugi, are you down with this? Cause this is starting to sound a lot like the Yami that almost unalived Kaiba.
I just don't understand what happened to Yugi.
Y'all, Yugi vanished into a tent. Why the f are you at the hot dog carts? You know magic is involved. You should be checking in with a Shizu.
No one will ever find us here, so you'll be alone when you lose it all!
Okay, so earlier, all your speeches were around how this is a big spectacle, the audience is waiting. Just a lot of it was around like this is a very public victory for you and a public defeat for Yugi. But now you're touting that this is private and that no one knows we're here. Which is it? I feel like the writers were trying to find out which angle made Arcana sound more evil, and they couldn't decide, so they just did both.
I've got to defend myself. This'll do. Mystic Tomato!
Can we all agree that Arcana has possibly the worst deck in Battle City? And yes, I'm including Rex Raptor and John Claude Magnum.
Take the bait, Yugi!
I summon Beta!
You've activated my trap! It takes a monster from each player and sends them to the graveyard. But in return, it brings back one monster.
Why did you need Yugi to summon a monster? Sounds like you could have done this with the already present Dark Magician on the field.
That will give me a second chance to annihilate you.
Damn, I was joking before, but is Dark Magician really your only win condition? Even Yugi has other boss cards. Dark Magician of Black Chaos, Blackluster Soldier, Buster Blader, Dark Paladin. Are you really only running Dark Magician?
I'm just following the orders of my master.
Enough secrets, Arcana.
Bro, do you really not know who he's working for? Second grade me knew we were talking about Marik.
Once I was the greatest illusionist and magician since Harry Houdini.
I'm gonna say if that was really true, Yugi would already know ya, and the backstory you're telling us now would be public knowledge.
It was a routine escape trick.
Okay, so you're an escape artist? Why is so much of your dialogue around you being a sleight of hand magician? Also, everything you say is curtain, stage, curtain, stage. Isn't this street magic? But everything you're saying up to this point indicates you're a stage magician. Can we make up our minds?
But as Catherine looked on, something went horribly wrong.
Okay, it looks like the bomb was outside the cage and you were inside. So I'm gonna guess that all the damage you took was just from the fall damage. Which honestly, in this world, with 0 fall damage, it's crazy you took any at all. But what's more surprising is that 100% of the damage happened to be on a very particular part of your face. Your chin and hair are amazingly intact and your overall face structure is there. We know that because the bones in your face are able to support your mask.
But as Catherine looked on, something went horribly wrong.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, this was sabotage. Possibly from Catherine. Why was there a bomb set off to go at all? Oh shit. So your entire body was injured, but everything healed just fine? Minus a small piece of your face?
I drove her away, Yugi! I was a broken man!
Okay, so are we supposed to be taking these as facts, or just Arcana's interpretation of these events? So here are my theories. Either she rigged the bomb, or she never really loved him. Because I mean, come on, his actions are totally justifiable. I am a little scared to say that, because I'm sure the sub people are gonna come in here and tell me he actually did something horrible to her. But just to be clear, I'm just watching the dub here. Him, quote, like acting crazy and, quote, driving her away is totally understandable. But the fact that she leaves him after this, I'm telling you, either she rigged the bomb and was trying to kill him and like, you know, collect that money, or she never really loved him and was just in it for the fame.
My life was over until I met him.
Marik's just out here scooping up f***ing anybody. This is a magician who's in between careers right now. What qualifications does he have to be a great duelist? Don't tell me it's just because Arcana is desperate. There's millions of desperate people in the world. What specifically makes Arcana a good candidate for the rare hunters? Would have made more sense to trick Mako, the world's best ocean duelist. And if he could beat Yugi, then Marik would bring back Mako's dad. I mean, shit, if Marik did his research, Mako is legit the closest Yugi has ever come to losing. While we're here, why is it that Marik needs a broken person to duel Yugi? This doesn't make sense on a couple levels. One, Marik shouldn't be sourcing broken people. This implies that the person is so broken and desperate, like they're easy to manipulate. But Marik's whole superpower is mind controlling people. He should be pulling a Bobbity. Don't go find broken people and try to turn them into duelists. Find the best duelists ever and make them work for you. Also, how does Marik know about the wife or anything? He doesn't have mind reading powers. Lastly, when did this happen? Marik's been offshore, or at least in Egypt up until very recently. Or actually, he's still possibly there. So when exactly did this happen?
If I could eliminate Yugimoto for good, he'd help me win back Catherine.
Did you even try apologizing to her? I think a nice apology, some flowers, maybe you schedule a comeback tour, would smooth things over.
Marik cares about no one except himself. He'll say and do anything to get what he wants.
Real quick, Yami, bro, can you not free Arcana? It's possible he's under a bit of a spell here. It just feels like you were so much more powerful in the last season. You forced Bakura, a Millennium item user, to switch places with himself against his will. Bakura even freed Bandit Keith from mind control with his ring. Why can't you mind crush him and free him from the evil within himself?
There are very few things you can count on, and even fewer people.
It's a very strange line coming from a person who is literally putting their faith into a stranger.
There she is, waiting for me, just like Marik promised.
I'm gonna say, sometimes the censor moments are scarier than the actual ones. This is like the Joker not having a gun and killing people, and instead using laughing gas. Like, the laughing gas is way scarier. This scene is so f***ed up to me.
I have to destroy Yugi, then we can be together forever.
Or until I f*** up another magic trick.
You're a fool to trust in him. You should be placing your trust in yourself and in your cards, Arcana.
I'm gonna say that's like the least of this dude's worries.
You rely on tricks and illusions to win.
Tricks and illusions? Sure, he shaded the single card. I guess that was the trick, but what's the illusion?
Instead of believing in your deck, that will be your downfall.
So his downfall is gonna be that he's 0-0 going up against the king of motherfucking games with a near perfect record, with the single game plan of summoning Dark Magician.
They're just cards, Yugi, and nothing more.
That is your problem.
This is such a huge pivot. The whole thing up to this point has been about backstory and Marik. Now we're taking a hard turn into disrespecting cards. This is basically a more extreme version of the lecture we already heard against Rebecca.
That will be your downfall. You depend on your Dark Magician to bail you out.
If that's what you heard, then you got terrible information. So in order, the cards that have bailed Yugi out are Exodia, Summon Skull, Soldier of Stone, Kaiba's Blue Eyes, yes, Dark Magician, Catapult Turtle plus Dragon Champion, Black Skull Dragon, fucking Celtic Guardian, DLS, Black Skull Dragon, again, Magician of Black Chaos, and most recently, a combination of Chain Destruction plus a boosted Alpha Magna Warrior. I'm gonna say up to this point, Dark Magician has not really been the go-to win condition for Yugi.
If Yugi is dueling someone who doesn't want me watching...
Do we ever get a reason for this? Why does Marik care? Why do we care? Any answer? No? Okay.
Search for every computer network in Battle City that is compatible.
Who are these dots? What interest would anyone have with being compatible with Kaiba's dual disc system? Also, didn't this system go public like 2 days ago? How is this even possible?
I'll hit the streets.
Based on how fast these dots are vanishing, I think we're gonna find them in like 3 seconds. Maybe just sit tight.
I'll hit the streets.
Is going after them really the best idea if they're refusing to identify themselves? Isn't that potentially dangerous? I feel like you should be at least carrying a Blue Eyes White Dragon, just in case you run into trouble. This is literally the calmest, most patient version of Seto. I feel like he's sitting here thinking who he could possibly blame for this massive oversight.
I place one card face down. Ready for the Shadow Realm?
Bro, you have negative aura right now. There is no ready for the Shadow Realm. You haven't dealt any damage. You have shown us no plan besides summoning Dark Magician and praying for the best. Please do something, like anything, before you try taunting again.
This trap card will counter the darkness of your magic card and spare my monster.
Back into the dark was a decoy to get you to waste your trap card.
It's not really a decoy. I know you're trying to sound like you have the upper hand or whatever, but more accurately described, you just set 2 traps.
Dark Magician, attack Yugi's life points directly. This is turning into quite the performance.
Yes, after 33 minutes, you finally got off an attack.
If I can't free my Dark Magician, Arcana's got me.
Bro, what? Did you side out all of your boss cards? You have so many answers. Is Mokuba really just blindly running through the streets? There's no reason. Number 1, wait for the location confirmation. 2, you have limo drivers. Or at least a fucking moped or a scooter. You're rich, bro. Act like it. Running is for poor people. Right, Chaz?
But once I've destroyed you, I'll have no more use for them anyway.
Bro, chill. You've already gone to the graveyard like 2 times this duel.
In battle, monsters respond best to fear.
What the are you saying? Also, how the does this logic apply to an Egyptian god card? This line is so dumb, and it's like the 3rd character pivot for Arcana.
You will never never command their respect with kindness and trust. Look what happened to your favorite card.
Is this really the result of kindness and trust, or a trap card with no counter?
It's my show, and my Dark Magician knows that I am his master.
I swear, they just threw all this in here just so when Arcana loses, we don't feel so bad for him. The backstory was so dark, he's a victim, you have sympathy, but now they're hitting us over the head with this. You just want him to die. Not because of what he's saying is bad, but just because you want him to shut the f up.
Extract the soul of my Dark Magician!
Stop now. This duel has gone way too far.
First off, why didn't you say this when Doll of Demise's soul was being sucked? Two, bro, you fucking catapult monsters all the time without care. Plus, you literally self-destruct millions of Karibos. You can't have it both ways, dude.
Fire the ectoplasm!
Ah! My Dark Magician! It looks like your plan to destroy me backfired. You're so busy disrespecting your cards, Arcana.
Arcana in real time is learning what actually makes Yugi invincible.
We need to send you to the Shadow Realm.
So let's go ahead and pause. We can see 70% of this dude's face. I'm starting to think he actually has 0 scarring, and it's all in his head. And maybe even the girlfriend. Like, everything is in his head. Him being as famous as Houdini, like, all of it was just in his head the whole time. Shit, that would be dark.
This trap card makes the number of monsters you have on the field equal to the number I have.
Let's go ahead and mark this as the first good play from Arcana.
Thanks to this, the Dark Magic Curtain!
Yo, if you're building a deck with the sole purpose of defeating another Dark Magician deck, why the f would you side in Dark Magician Curtain?
Yugi, there's no way you can win. My dueling deck was put together specifically to counter your strength.
Bro, how does this counter Yugi's deck? Maybe if you had some anti-dark monsters or anti-spell, but 2 Dark Magicians is not a counter to Yugi. You got such bad information, bro.
Just in case you're counting on your 2 face-down cards to rescue you, I will take the liberty of wiping them out with my anti-magic arrows.
All right, this is actually a legit tech against Yugi. You're getting up a spell to destroy 2 of his back row. This actually gives you card advantage. You're a +1. Nice work.
What's going on? My Dark Magic Curtain is working for you?
Why is this triggering now and not 5 minutes ago when it was played?
And just like you now play, Dark Magician!
I was told you only had 1 Dark Magician!
Well, you're partially right, but mostly misinformed.
Is that the same?
He must be trapped.
Then we gotta bust in there and rescue him.
Yo, nobody kicks into action faster than Tristan Timothy Taylor. Let's go.
It was your disrespect of your own Dark Magicians that caused you to lose this duel.
Maybe, but I'll also say it's his inexperience and not knowing ectoplasm, Dark Magician Curtain, or Dark Magician Girl's full effects.
Ah! Someone help me! A real magician always has one more trick up his sleeve, like a spare key.
Bro, what the actual f***? Why are you waiting until the last second to do this? I'd have done this the moment he summoned Dark Magician Girl.
Where's your magic now, fool?
Where'd it go?
Bro, this shit is low-key terrifying. Not even low-key. This shit is high-key terrifying. It's possible the censored version is scarier than the uncensored. Don't quote me on that, but dude, this shit is nuts.
Hold on!
Wait, so does the key exist or not? Because it sounded like it didn't, and then he dropped it, and then Yugi picked it up. What the f is happening?
Not even a cheat like you deserves to go to the Shadow Realm.
Cheat? Are we still talking about the shaved Dark Magician card at the beginning of the duel? I thought we were mad at him for disrespecting the cards. So is it that he disrespects the cards, or is that he's a cheat?
I'm coming! Oh, please! My darling, what's going on?
Bro, this shit is fucking nightmare fuel.
Arcana, are you going to be all right?
Bro, dude, no, bro. He is way past fucking are you gonna be all right? This guy could have round-the-clock professional psychiatrists. He ain't coming back. He is so far gone.
Never get your greedy hands on my puzzle!
I promise you, by the sands of Egypt, the Pharaoh's power will be mine!
You say as you lost to Yugi for a 3rd time?
You all right, buddy?
We're here!
Hey, guys!
You're okay!
I know we haven't gotten to this part yet, but why is it that later we're gonna rush Bakura off to the hospital when he's possibly slightly concussed, but an unconscious Arcana who is definitely going through some shit, they could not give a f about him. Everyone's calm, just hanging out, no urgency, no rush to the hospital. They don't give a f.
How will you get Obelisk from Kaiba?
That's a simple task.
Are you sure? Because you've been saying Yugi's gonna be a simple duel too, and right now you're 0-3.
Once Yugi is taken care of, I'll strip Kaiba of his Egyptian god card.
Bro, I still feel like you got the order backwards. Maybe go for Kaiba first and then Yugi. and that would let you possibly use all the God cards against him.
Keep an eye on those friends of his. I don't want them getting in my way.
Okay, besides Tristan, do any of them actually have the ability to stand in your way?
And keep an eye on those friends of his. They may prove to be quite useful to me. In the meantime, I'll use the quiet one to crush Yugimoto in a duel.
What? So you're saying you'll use the quiet one to beat Yugi, but just in case that doesn't work, let's keep tabs on the friends, because I might fail again, and we'll need a plan E.
The entire world will kneel at my feet. No one will be able to stop me.
Real quick, can't you pretty much rule the world the way you are right now? Or at least rule Egypt? Can't you just mind control Egypt and be happy? Yugi wouldn't even know. I feel like you're Jafar. You already have all this power, but for some reason you think you need more. Just be happy with what you got, bro. You got the rod, you got the 2 God cards. Life is pretty good for Marik right now. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. That was everything wrong with Master Magicians. Up next, I believe we got the Joey v. Weevil duel. Yeah, so please stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much.